West Coast Conference. Santa Clara facing Gonzaga.
We welcome you to the Jenny Craig Pavilion here in San Diego, California. Championship week presented by 7-Up continues. Tonight it's the West Coast Conference title game. Last night, two wild semifinals. Number 1 seed Gonzaga down 14 in the first half. Rallies to beat San Diego. Number 3 Santa Clara down by 13 with 10 minutes to go. Rallies to knock off Pepperdine. Welcome everybody, along with Reggie Theus. I'm Chris Marlowe. Gonzaga, we expected to be here. Elite 8 2 years ago, Sweet 16 last time around. Another good club this year. The surprise is Santa Clara got off to a bad start, lost 6 of its first 10 games, rallied. Now it's playing very well. Let's talk about the stars. First, Gonzaga's Casey Calvary.
I tell you what, they fear this guy. He had 29 points in their first meeting this year. This is a guy that's gotten better in every year. He's gotten better in a different position. Now he can start the game in the post and end up on the three-point line. They like the way he plays, so much so there's 9 scouts out here tonight watching him. Now, of course, Brian Jones on the other end, he's a strong guy. When he came to Santa Clara, he wanted to make the big dance. This is his last chance. He's going to have a hard time with Dick out.
Santa Clara is undefeated, 6-0 with this lineup, which inserted the freshman sensation Kyle Bailey for Brian Vaca. Meanwhile, Gonzaga has won 18 of its last 19. Keep your eye on Dan Dickow. His coach, Mark Few, says he is one of the best point guards on the West Coast. Mark Few is in his second year. He was just named the West Coast Conference Coach of the Year, 26-9 a year ago, and a Sweet 16 appearance. Set, ready to go. Santa Clara in the maroon uniforms. Gonzaga in one. Don't call them Gonzaga or you'll get in trouble. They're the Zags from Gonzaga.
Let me write that down.
Santa Clara a little bit more deliberate. This is Brian Jones. He's got a good look, and he gives the Broncos the early lead.
He told me before the game, this is his big chance. This is the way he's got to come out and play. He had a huge game last night versus Pepperdine in the second half, so he's coming out firing again tonight.
Gonzaga averages about 83 points a game, the highest scoring team in the West Coast Conference. Here's Step. He's a freshman. Cavalry can shoot the 3. On the year, he's about 40%, which is good for a big guy. Dickow. Penetration, dishes off Gord, and we're tied at 2. Zach Gord, a sophomore from Vancouver. Man-to-man defense. You'll see that at least to start from both teams, Reggie.
Well, you know, man-to-man is where they want to start. We'll probably see some 2-3 zone from Gonzaga pretty soon. And, of course, they're going to change the game. But when you talk about Santa Clara, they're so fearful of their post game that they're going to come down early and some big, big plays.
Three-pointer. Steve Ross converting, and it's 5-3 Santa Clara early. Santa Clara known for getting off to slow starts, been behind in a lot of ball games this year.
But Chris, so important for them to shoot the ball well tonight because they typically are a very poor shooting team.
Dickow got it. He had 39 in the last meeting between these two teams. It was a loss. 31 in the second half. Reggie Theus numbers.
But you know what? He can get them all over the floor, but what he does best is make the other players better, just like John Stockton did for Gonzaga a long time ago.
Tremendous history of point guards for Gonzaga. Of course, Matt Santangelo was the key figure on those tournament teams. That is Jamie Holmes, a senior from Merced, getting his first bucket.
And how about the team that's not supposed to be the shooters come out 3 for 3 from the perimeter?
Both teams red hot to open it up. Broncos 7, Zags 5. Step and Bailey, that's a great freshman matchup. Cavalry for 3. Rebound Spink, and it was taken away by Holmes. You won't see Santa Clara break too much, Reggie.
No, they're not going to break a whole lot. Yeah, as you said, they're a pretty deliberate team, but they got some guys that can get it done. They're a defensive-oriented team, and they have to really rely on that tonight.
Brian Jones, 2 for 2. He's a senior from Carson, California. Played his high school ball at Banning, a football school. Dickow right back. And the rebound by Emsley. 9-5 Broncos early. Fast pace. You would think would favor Gonzaga. Brian Jones again. Yes!
Chris, when you talk about the last chance, when you talk about what this game means to this senior, he's coming out and letting them feel the way he feels. He wants this game.
Santa Clara hasn't been in the NCAA tournament since '96 as Dickow converts. He's shooting 47% from three. That's his 58th make this year.
And he's got such a beautiful jump shot. Fades back a little bit, but he's certainly got the step back down.
Both teams lining it up. Santa Clara perfect. Gonzaga's made half its shots. Great start to the West Coast Conference title game. Brian Jones, heat check. Brian Jones.
Oh, my kind of game. Get him up.
Jones has got 9 early. Spank in traffic. Taken away. Broncos 14, Zags 8.
Solid defense right there, plugging up the middle, not letting anything happen. Everything from the perimeter right now.
Jones for 3. In and out. He finally missed one. Rebound pops right out. Brian Jones. Jamie Holmes gets the jumper. Whoa, Santa Clara blazing. Normally they shoot about 40% on the season, Reggie. That ball tossed out of bounds. The three-point shooting is worse, 29%, but they are lighting it up here early.
Still, a lot of people think that it's really hard to play when you played last night late. They just carried it over. They're lighting it up from threes deep in this game, all over.
We'll be back. Santa Clara by 8. Chris Marlowe, Reggie Theus back at the West Coast Conference Championship game. Santa Clara blazing from the field. Brian Jones hot last night. He's continuing at 4 out of 5. Santa Clara 7 of 8, Reggie.
Well, I tell you what, Brian Jones, you gotta know this guy's ready. Dick's gotta like that start, especially when a team, he told us that wasn't a very good shooting team, and that's what he worried about most. They have come out blazing tonight.
Dick Davey, the West Coast Conference's winningest active coach. Here's Jones.
Look at the aggressiveness, Chris. I don't mind that. Even if you miss the shot, you put the pressure on the defense.
Give Zach Gord the block. Step to Spank. And Spank flushes it. He was a reserve last year. He's a senior, an emotional player, and a tremendous defender.
Well, he is definitely an emotional player. He's the guy that they count on to give him a little spark every now and then. Physical talent. That's what they like about it.
This is Kyle Bailey, and Bailey hits. Bailey into the lineup for Vaca. What has that given them?
Well, obviously, he's a more all-around player than Vaca, and what that does, it allows Jones to go over and play 2-guard. That really has opened the game up. That's why they won 6 in a row since he got to the lineup.
Bailey got a 3, so it's 19 to 10. The biggest lead. Santa Clara, you'll see them mostly man-to-man. Dickow stripped, and here comes Kyle Bailey. Runner-up for Freshman of the Year in the West Coast Conference. The man who beat him out is playing opposite him. Blake Stepp. A long jumper off the mark. Holmes. And Jones. You know, this Brian Jones, if you haven't seen him, he is one of the best all-around players in the country. He does so much for his team.
When you look at his size and his strength, you see he's one of the best rebounding guards in the nation. When you look at what he can do underneath the basket, right here, look at him go up with the big guys and fight for the rebound, obviously, get the and one almost.
First foul on Zach Gord. Brian Jones, the first player in West Coast Conference history to score 1,500 points, 500 rebounds, and dish out 500 assists.
All-around player.
Right, and he is 35 points, Reggie, away from Santa Clara's all-time scoring leader. And you know who that is, don't you?
Steve Nash.
No. Superman. Kurt Rambis.
Oh, Kurt Rambis.
He broke Nash's assist record last night.
I didn't think Kurt could score unless he was getting the ball from Matt.
Rambis used to be a scorer, Reg.
Actually, Kurt Rambis played with my cousin, Londell Theus, back in the day.
One of the great teams.
And he didn't pass the ball either. I wonder where he got that from.
Jones has 10. The Broncos have doubled the Zags. And we've got a holding foul inside. The first foul of the game committed just a moment ago. And here will be number 2.
Charge number 45, Jim Howell.
Jim Howell collects the foul. There's a good look at Mark Few. Boy, is he young looking. In his second year, named head coach in July 26 of '99, taking over for Dan Monson, who left for Minnesota. Cavalry bottled up and spins away. Casey Cavalry
That's what I like about him. You can't really double team him. He's got good outlet passes and a nice drop step. He learned that drop step move his second year, and I want to get into that a little bit because he has learned a little bit of something different each year. This year, he's put it all together.
Long jumper. Wow, that should have been a foul. Wow, no foul. Justin Holbrook hit an NBA three and got clobbered. That should have been a four-pointer. And the Broncos continue their hot roll, 23-12. This is Dickow being pressured by Jones. Jones, one of the top defenders in the conference. Scored, and he's hacked. That could be on Vaca.
One of the things that they're very afraid of tonight is Calvary down in the low post. As soon as he gets the ball, the closest man has to go double. Right there, you see one come to two, but look at the footwork. Those are things that he has learned over the years, that footwork, the drop step, the really baseline drop step, and then the inside pivot is something that he's learned this year.
Dickow will launch from anywhere. Whip it out to Step. Long three-pointer. Got it! Blake Step, 38% on the year, his 57th three-point make.
And who wouldn't want to be on the court with Dickow? Can just find the open guy.
He sure can. Needs to get a little bigger, a little stronger if he can. Jones being guarded by Step now, or is this the 2-3 matchup? Now it's still man-to-man. Jones, that's a tough shot. And he's going to be called for going over the back. Jones over the top. He's forcing a bit there.
Well, he's got a big heart. And probably one of the negative things about Jones is that he has such a big heart and he wants to play so hard that sometimes you get that little cliche thing going. You over-hustle. Right there was a little bit of over-hustle. He forced the shot, went for his own rebound, which the coach likes. But, of course,
I tell you what, you're the perfect guy to critique him. If anybody knows about forcing shots, it's you, Reggie. So keep a good look on Jones tonight.
I'm going to watch.
He carried the team last night, and he's off to a tremendous start in this one. Got a whistle and a pushing foul underneath. Dickow gets called for his first. 26-15. Santa Clara Broncos. 9 of 13 from the field. And this is a team that shoots less than 40% on the year. Holbrook is a three-point shooter, and he's been red hot in West Coast Conference play, 74%. Bailey launches. Zags a run. Dickow pulls up. Good rebound by Brian Vaca. Started the first 20. Then the insertion of Bailey's kind of smoothed it out. Now he comes off.
But anytime you can get a guy that's been a starter to come off your bench, you know you're getting some experience on the floor. You don't lose anything when he's in the game.
A poke away for the Bulldogs. Now Dickow. See how the Zags play. When Gonzaga sets it up, they'll run motion. And Calvary is fouled. Casey Calvary in the first game between these two teams, Reggie, had 29. Second game, they did a much better job. They limited him to 7.
Again, when you look at the defense, the man comes double team strong, and he's still able to elevate and get the shot off. Now, that's a great offensive move, or is it bad defense? In my opinion, that's bad defense because you never let a man out of the double team. He turns and shoots, you got to bottle him up. You got two big guys double teaming Calvary.
If Calvary has an Achilles heel, it is his free throwing, 62.5%. 2 fouls, so Jim Howell has to sit down, number 45.
Chris, tonight might be a little test of Calvary's patience because they're going to double team as soon as he gets the ball. Is he going to get it out and get it to the open guy quickly?
We're coming back. Santa Clara leading Gonzaga 23-16. Back at the West Coast Conference title game, a 7-point lead for Santa Clara. Brian Jones is the star for the Broncos. Listen to Davey rave about him.
He's one of the toughest players I've ever worked with. Offensively, we expect him to score. We expect him to get assists. We expect him to rebound. And as a guard, he gets about 5 rebounds a game. But the thing he does that a lot of people don't know is he plays defense the entire game. He stays after you. He doesn't give on you. He's so competitive. Anything he does, he wants to be the winner.
Jones on the bench with 10 points.
10 points, he plays hard, and that is so evident by the start of this ball game, what he's done so far, and he came off a great game last night in their upset win.
Anthony Reason is in the game for Gonzaga. And now Gonzaga, we thought we'd see some matchup zone, Reggie, and here they go. 2-3 matchup. And we'll see if Santa Clara can hit from the outside like they did in the first 8 minutes.
And that's an interesting move from a coach's perspective, because that's going to slow the game down, change the pace. But right now, there's nothing you can do when the ball is falling.
Steve Ross with a long three, 26-16. The largest lead was 11. It's now 10. And we've got to push inside. It might be on Spink. Let's see. Someone was pushing. That's the first on him. Go back a moment. Good shooting so far, Ross.
Steve Ross, the same spot. That's number 2 from that X that he put there before the game. Bang, nothing but net.
Back door. And it was fumbled away. Baca picks it up. And Zach Gord has his second block. Zags on the run. Reason. And he'll shoot 2. Santa Clara, Reggie, started with such a fast pace. Do you like that pace for the Broncos, or is it too fast for them?
I like the fact that they've come out and letting it all hang out. They're going after the game. They don't have a problem with what's happening. They're typically a slow-paced team, a more methodical team, but you have to enjoy the fact that Dick Davies allowing them to go out and play tonight, and they're responding. Let it happen. That's why you tip the ball off. You don't look records. It doesn't matter who you are. When you tip it up, you got to win the game.
Anthony Reason, a contributor this year, spent 2 years at Compton Community College. Kind of the spark plug off the bench this year. Last year it was Mark Spink. He's the starter. Now Reason comes in, gives him some juice, and he has already.
I like the tempo changes coming off the bench. I think the guys that can do a little bit of everything. He's a little bit better defensive player and a little bit more wire, a little more athletic about him.
Now Kyle Bailey and Ryan Baca, the 2 guards in the game for Santa Clara. Emsley stays in. Bailey too hard, and Zach Gord is playing a very good first half with another rebound.
He's holding down the middle for him, and this is going to be pay big dividends for them in the end of this ball game.
Santa Clara's led all the way, and Spink is fouled going to the rack. Mark Spink. You know, Coach was telling us tonight that he gave Mark Madsen last year the roughest 14 minutes.
And this is why. Look at the footwork right there. You see the little hesitation? That's what threw the defense off. When you talk about giving Mark Mason, now this is a guy that Madsen, this is a guy that's very physical, somebody that could really take him down the low post and beat up on him, but you have to be smart in this game of basketball. It's not always about the physicality of the game.
Of course, that was the great upset. Gonzaga upsetting Stanford when the Zags make their run. Alex Hernandez comes in for the first time. 15 points, a career game, tied his career high. And of course, you see Ryan Jones back in. So Jones sitting out a minute or 2, and the league shrinking down to 7. Calvary is back. Bankhead is in. Kyle Bankhead in for Gonzaga. And now full court pressure.
Well, full court after the make on the free throw, always a good thing to do. Start to slow the offense down. Stops them from getting into any rhythm.
Jones, Pester.
Back down to the Don Munson matchup zone down there. Give a lot of credit to him for that.
Holmes has been shooting well. Jones. And good defense by Hernandez. Clock winding down into the lane. Bailey with the runner, no. And Zach Gord picks up another rebound. Bad pass. Zach's got it back. 26-19. Broncos by 7. Charger block.
Steve Ross back in the game for the Broncos, replacing number 25, Justin Holbrook.
Alex Hernandez.
Do you like that move he just made?
Yeah.
Slasher. He obviously is a slasher. He got 15 points off the bench the other night, but he went into the defense to create the contact, and I always like to see guards when they do that.
Reggie Theus, a slasher who could get to the rack and not only fill it up from the outside. 26-20. Hernandez makes 1 of 2. And the Santa Clara offense is slowed down considerably from that first 6 minutes.
Well, that's because of the defensive change when they went to the matchup zone.
Holmes, good move, missed it. Tip, no. Hensley can't handle it. Here comes Blake Stepp, freshman of the year in the West Coast Conference. Can he shoot? Yes, he can. That one's up high on top, and they get Hernandez. They get Hernandez a little bit too aggressive. That's his first.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because they really just got tied up. I think that's one of those no-call things. Look at the hustle on the rebounds. Both guys going at it hard. Hands just get kind of tied up. It's a tough call to make.
Dickow is back in. Dan Dickow, a junior from Vancouver, Washington. And once again, full court pressure.
Come on, Kyle.
Santa Clara has a little problem now. And a timeout called by Santa Clara. Dick Davey is hot. He says, my man's getting shoved. We're coming back. 8:44 to play first half. Broncos still on top by 6. Conference. I think most of the people think, as you see the shooting, Santa Clara red hot early but missing now. Most people think that Santa Clara has to win to go to the dance.
Well, I think they know they have to win to go to the dance. Now, what had happened, the momentum changed a little bit for Santa Clara in that matchup zone. Gonzaga back into the man-to-man. We'll see how that affects the game.
Jones has cooled off. Just to complete the thought, there are a lot of people that think if Gonzaga loses this game that they would still have a chance to get in. That's something we can talk about a little bit later. But Gonzaga, very good record. Of course, they've got the karma of the last couple of years as Casey Calvary converts in the paint.
A lot of patience right there. He waited just to see if the defense was going to come. Nobody came. Then he went for his move.
Calvary's got 5. Santa Clara led by as many as 11. Now the lead has been cut to 4. Jones and Hernandez got the arm. Boy, Hernandez, he is an aggressive, fiery, hacking, whacking type of a player.
I tell you what, though, they went back. It's a second foul. You go man-to-man, that opens it up for Jones. Went right back in there and got to the foul line.
Casey Calvary has the Zags back in it, down by just 4. Back at the Jenny Craig Pavilion, Santa Clara's led all the way, but the lead shrinking, Reggie.
Well, the lead, when you look at, talk about Casey, you watch the defense on him right here. He's looking around. When he sees, watch him get the ball. He's looking around, waiting for the double team. Nobody comes. He does a smart thing, takes the crab dribble to the middle. Very smart player. 5 points for the game. Surprisingly, no rebounds.
He averages 6.5. We mentioned a lot of NBA scouts think he's a player. Some think he's a tweener.
If he's had a problem, it's going to be the fact that he's a tweener. Whether he's a power forward, can he guard the big, strong power forwards? Small forward, can he get out and give you 20 every night?
There you go. Santa Clara in the maroon uniforms. Nice shot, Jamie Holmes. He's a good shooter, averages 13.5 and 7. Started a summer conditioning program, and he lost 20 pounds. His nickname was Sloppy. Now I call him first team all-conference. And we've got a whistle and a foul. So Gonzaga starting to get some penetration in the lane. Now, if you follow Santa Clara basketball, you remember Dick Davies. Colorful sweaters are his trademark. 6 games ago, he was looking for one to wear in the game, but all 4 of his game sweaters were in the hamper, so he says. So he wore a coat and tie for the first time ever. They've won 6 in a row, and so he's got to keep it. He's taken the coat off, of course, but the tie remains. He's a sweater.
Yeah, but I don't understand that, because when all my stuff's in the hamper, I go get it, put some cologne on it, and keep going.
Of course, it might have something to do with Bailey for vodka, but hey, Dick Davey not one to challenge the fates.
Listen, all athletes, they all have these hang-ups.
Right. And I don't see you, dapper Reggie Theus, with a hamper anyway. You give it to the cleaning person or the dry cleaner and have them haul it away.
You didn't grow up in my neighborhood.
28-23, Broncos with a 5-point lead. They came out and made 7 of their first 8, and since they've cooled off, Holmes had a shot rejected. Dickow looking to set up his buddy Stepp. Instead, he goes to Hernandez, and Hernandez will shoot 2. Boy, this kid is active. He's a former Nevada High School Player of the Year at Valley High School. 23 points a game in Wyoming at Casper Community College. He's a high-energy guy.
One of the guys I thought never should have left the Vegas area. Should have been at UNLV over there. But I tell you what, when you look at the way he plays basketball, moving without the ball, when you have a dick out on the floor, you can really play off of him. Right there, he starts moving before Dick out makes his move, and then, obviously, he delivers the ball.
You know, if Hernandez played in your era when they had the gravy train, he would have gone there for sure. But now, you know, he can go anywhere he wants. 28-25. Zags close to within 3. They got it back. Oh, a three-pointer would be big here. Dick out for 2. Shot block. Spink goes and gets it.
Look at the D. Strong.
Kyle Bailey, the freshman from Fairbanks, Alaska. Nice pass.
I got news for you, Chris. That was a great play by Bailey because he held the defense up, then watched the floor and made it happen after that. Smart point guard play. Defense on the block, one block, and then the strong by Bailey, another steal. Now watch it on the other end. Watch him hold up Dick out, let the play develop right there, make one inside-out pivot, and then the bounce pass through the defense. Sweet.
Now Jason Westfall at the line. He is a horrendous free throw shooter. He's made 4 of 23, and one of the 4 he made was a bank in.
Oh, they shouldn't account that.
18% from the line. He's athletic. They like to get him in the game, but he is a dismal. 73% from the field. And Santa Clara, they've got to get to the line.
It's going to be so important for them to get to the line. You know, we're talking about how poorly they shoot. They're not shooting the ball bad. That's why they're not getting to the line.
Westfall now 4 of 24. I don't know if you can play a guy that can't make free throws that gets fouled as much as him. Zags could tie it with a 3 here. Calvary, and the Zags cut it. That's a 1-point lead for Santa Clara.
Santa Clara started the game off going on the pass to double team Calvary. He started the game slow. They've gone away from that, but they better get back to it.
Fans are live here in the Jenny Craig Pavilion, also known as the Slim Jim. Underneath, Westfall gonna foul it. Nice pickup, going in and getting it is Vodka. You can see he's valuable. 10 on the shot clock. And the Gonzaga defense is magnificent now. Jones.
One and done. Can't get it done that way.
Zags can take the lead right here with a bucket. Step. Step for the lead. Gonzaga 30. Broncos 28.
Nice ball movement. Almost a little overpassing, but certainly when you swing it side to side, you get a swing in the offense, good things happen.
Broncos have gone ice cold.
So much of their play is coming from the guards. They're getting one shot, and that is the end of it.
It's a 14-2 run by Gonzaga. Calvary, jump hook. He gets the roll.
Talking to his coach before the game, he said he came into this school year, his first year only can dunk. His second year, he developed the jump hook. His third, he went out to the three-point line. In his fourth year, he's put it all together to become a complete player.
The West Coast Conference Player of the Year, Casey Calvary. He's got 9 now. Santa Clara dead in the water. Jones needs the answer here. Jones didn't draw iron. Gonzaga, no looky pass. Little too fancy there. And dig out. Commits the foul.
Down low. Look at Calvary down When he receives the ball again, no double team, he takes it quickly to the drop side and the open side. That is instincts. You cannot teach that type of basketball. Now watch this. On the shot, step on with the long three, that gave him the lead, and of course, he's the one who made the pass. Cover back inside, quick with the little jump hook shot, soft off the rim. Very nice.
At the line, Brian Vaca. Cavalry is on the bench now. Vaca, 66%er, makes the first of 2. Vaca, modest numbers, 4.5 points, 3.5 rebounds. A scrambler, great defensive play.
I want to get back into the Calvary thing down on the other end. Obviously, he is not in the game now, but when he gets in the game, they have to change the defense up on him every single time down court. You can't give him the same look each time.
So Casey gets a breather. The Zags lead by 3. Jermaine Forbes, number 11, in at one of the guard slots. Step. Blake Step. Oregon 4A Player of the Year as a prep. 24.5 points a game. Played for his dad. Well-schooled fundamental.
Yeah, they enjoy that flex motion in the offense right there. They could have got a jumper anytime they wanted. They ran it to perfection. Got the elbow jumper.
Gonzaga's lead is 6. Banging his way in was Holmes, but Gonzaga all over Santa Clara now.
Still only one shot. Never a second chance in the last 4 or 5 times down court.
Gonzaga shifting into overdrive. Step again.
Somebody better get on him. Did you read the scouting report? The guy can shoot it.
Step has 12. He's made 4 of 6 from 3-point distance. Timeout Santa Clara. A 22-3 run for Martin Fuse, Gonzaga Bulldog. Yeah, they call them the Bulldogs too. The Zags or the Bulldogs, I'm told, is actually correct.
Look at the flex action coming up on the weak side. He can catch and shoot with anybody in this league. Right there, again, rounding to the strong side. Bang, he can finish it.
You know, last year they lost Richie Fromm, Matt Santangelo, Ryan Floyd, Axel Danch. Everybody said, what's Gonzaga going to do? Folks, this team might be better than those teams. More depth, more guys that can play. They have the shooters, and they have Dickow to distribute.
Well, I did tell you, that's pretty tough to stop when you look at these numbers here. When you're talking about this team being better, they're deeper, and what I like is I think they're stronger also.
Got some powerful guys. I mean,
Absolutely.
They don't have the 7-footer, but who does? But they've got a lot of 6'8", 6'9" guys that are broad.
Yes, they're not skinny guys.
Yeah. Been on the Cornhusker diet up in Spokane, Washington. 2:50 to play first half. Gonzaga is raced by Santa Clara and leads by 9. Good move. And Justin Holbrook will shoot 2. So Santa Clara having problems. Forbes picks up his first. And Holbrook. Santa Clara, a good free throwing team. Everybody shooting in the 70s somewhere. They're a 71% team.
Well, that's respectable from the free throw line on any team.
Yeah.
Well, you see what's happening to them right now. Gonzaga is pulling the defense back. They're plugging up the middle, not allowing Santa Clara to go anywhere.
I would say the pace is too fast. I know they came out hitting, and I know you say come out and play aggressive, but that pace is just, I mean, yeah, they made their shots, but now.
But it's a game of adjustment.
Okay.
You make your adjustments. Okay, your run is over.
Okay.
Now you have to do the smart thing. Slow it back down.
Slow down.
Get back into your game.
Reggie says slow down. 2:41 to go. Zags by 7. Very impressive.
I'm as impressed with their defense as I am their shooting right now. They've really just put the plug and put the stops.
Broncos led by 11 early. Gonzaga has come back. Their biggest lead has been 10 at 38-28. Forbes, Step, Violet, Calvary, and Hernandez on the floor now for Gonzaga. Gonzaga opened in man-to-man. and they blew that defense right out. But when Gonzaga went to a zone, the matchup zone, that really slowed them down.
That's the point that we made earlier, and that changed the tempo of the game. Right now, what was working for them in the beginning of the game is not working. You got Jones and you got Bailey doing a lot of ball handling, doing a lot of dribbling. Right now, they need to get off the ball and get some passing, some teamwork, more guys involved in this offense.
One thing that Gonzaga likes to do, they like to have guards who can play. They don't designate point guard, off guard. They have guards. Guards can shoot, guards can dribble, step, dick out, Forbes. All of them can dribble, they can play, they can shoot.
You know what? The simple way is to say they just play basketball.
Absolutely. You remember when they used to be just guards?
Absolutely.
Jerry West, Gail Goodrich, all the way back.
Tandems.
Yeah.
They called them tandems.
Two great guards.
And I got a chance to watch them.
Who's the best guard you ever played with?
Played with?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's
played with
tough
in the backcourt.
Wow, that's a tough
All
one.
right, think about it. You don't have to give it to me now. Zags by 7. Santa Clara with a 20-11 overall record. They finished 3rd in the regular season, and Calvary will pick up the foul.
Bobby Wilkerson.
Bobby Wilkerson. Okay, former Indiana star.
He did all the rebounding and played the defense.
Yeah, and then would throw the ball to you so you could shoot.
That's
no
why
wonder
I
you
liked him so much. Why do you think I said his name?
First foul on Calvary. Ross has had a terrific tournament. Really stepped it up against Pepperdine. Boy, the Waves, they have to be sitting at home right now thinking,
what happened?
Yeah, why are we not playing in that game?
No,
they played well. They shot well. But Santa Clara got on one of those runs. As you look at Dickow, Dan Dickow started his career at Washington. University of Washington, kind of got lost in the shuffle. And then transferring down to, well, I'm not sure that's down or up there. It's up in Washington, but transferring to Spokane and becoming the leader on this Gonzaga team. You know, he's so young looking. Yeah, absolutely. He's so young looking. He looks a little like Robbie Benson. You remember the movie One-on-One? I mean, he's just like, Coach, put me in. Now, this kid can play, though. You're going to hear a lot of him next couple of years.
As soon as you said that, you know what I thought about, right? The car scene.
Turnovers, Gonzaga with 9, but a lot of those were early. Broncos hanging around, only down by 5, but they have to get their offense revved up.
Well, watch the offense. A lot of pounding of the ball. Not much moving from strong side to weak side with the basketball. Playing on one side of the floor. That allows the defense to set.
Holmes hits. What's the best way to attack a matchup, do you think?
Well, the best way is to break down the matchup. You have to get into the guts of the defense. Anytime you can make the defense make adjustments, you can find the open man with the driving kick.
Gord stuffs it up and in. Zach Gord, he isn't pretty, but he is effective.
I tell you what, you want to have a guy like Gord down in the low block. The guy's going to do the hard work, get the things that you don't want to do done. And of course, every now and then you got to throw the ball.
Shot is off the mark. Rebound Gord. Under 30 seconds to play in the game. And Mark Few will take timeout. Santa Clara Broncos cheerleaders, they were jacked up in the first 6 or 7 minutes. Their team came out on fire, made 7 of 8, led by 11, but Gonzaga utilizing a 16-2 run.
They're not jumping as high right now.
No, they're not getting liftoff. They were jumping like Lawndale Theus. Now they're jumping like Reggie Theus.
Oh, that hurt.
Dickow will hold for the last shot. Let's see how Brian Jones plays it. Calvary, 3 on the clock. He's got to go up. Calvary missed it. And that's the end of the first half. Calvary thought he was fouled. Yelling at the refs. He won't get it. All right, at halftime, the Zags leading the Broncos by 5. Back at the Jenny Craig Pavilion, Gonzaga leading Santa Clara 40-35. Welcome back, everybody. Along with Reggie Theus, I'm Chris Marlowe. Gonzaga started a bit slowly. Santa Clara got out of the gate fast, but when Gonzaga turned up the jets, there was no stopping them.
But I tell you what they did is they weathered the early storm by Santa Clara, shooting the ball so well. And how they did it was a three-point shooting up the guard. Play. Dickow right here, big three-pointer. He hit it off the pick. He hit it on the run. Right here, spotting up, catch and shoot. He had 6 points for the half. And of course, when you start talking about hitting threes, you got to talk about Steph. Blake Steph, he hit threes from everywhere. Right there off the flex cut, up top in the Coffin corner. Again, the opposite Coffin corner. I like that that spot too, Steph. Keep hitting it. Somebody better guard that man. He's got 12 points for the half.
Gonzaga 62%. 6 of 11 from three-point range. That'll get it done.
Well, rebounding is pretty even. Points in the paint. Look at the points in the paint right there. 12-2. That's strong.
That's Casey.
That's definitely Casey. They started the game off double teaming him quick. They got to get back to that. Brian Jones, he started the game off with 4 or 5, and he missed his last 7 shots. He's got to get back into the game.
And team-wise, the Broncos started 7 of 8 and went 5 of 23 as Dickow scores with the runner to open the scoring here in the second half.
That's not how you want to come out if you're Santa Clara. You want to come out making these guys work a little harder to get their shots out. They had a lot of open jumpers in that first half, and they didn't get the double teams like I thought they were going to do on the post play.
Gonzaga comes out in the matchup zone, rebound Spink. The matchup was very, very effective. Really stagnated the offense for Santa Clara.
Well, I have to believe that Santa Clara went into the locker room talking about that stagnant offense, not getting much ball movement on both sides of the floor.
Emsley, the 6'11 junior from Seattle, thought he had the rebound. It went off his hand, out of bounds. Winner of the West Coast Conference is automatically in, of course. Gonzaga with an RPI of 45. I also have one of 82 in the other RPI ranking. Cavalry in and out. And Santa Clara is going to come up with it. Those RPIs really fluctuate from Sagarin over to the CBN poll.
Well, you know they're taking the 45. You know that.
Gonzaga with only 1 loss. 23-6 overall. Santa Clara with a 20-11 record. Pepperdine still in the hunt for postseason. Probably not in the NCAA, but perhaps NIT.
Yeah, it's possible. They've had some pretty good wins. There's a team that came on strong at the end of the season.
And if Santa Clara doesn't win, they could theoretically be considered for the NIT. Blake Stepp, and he is down, and that's going to be 3 free throws. Well, Blake Stepp, I tell you have to honor these 2 guards.
And I'm going to tell you something else. I like that foul. I like the foul, right? Well, he goes over there. Stepp is knocked down the last 3 or 4 jumpers he's hit. And right there, you see, show him the lights. Let him know that he's not going to get an open look every single time. He didn't do it on purpose. He just wanted to give him some contact.
Second foul called on Brian Jones. Stepp averaging about 10.5 points. He had 12 in the first half, though, and when he gets hot, you look at the rhythm he's got. You know, he's got a great stroke.
Well, here's the problem, though. How does that man, when you know that he really is not going to do much else other than shoot the long jumper, get open every single time down court?
45-35. Zags open up their second 10-point lead of the night. Jones. They'll scramble for it. And it's a scrum, and on the bottom of it, David Emsley. Alternating possession. Santa Clara will keep it. Nice hustle by the big man.
And you have to appreciate it. Anytime guys go to the floor, no problem when they pile up like that.
Interestingly, Emsley and Casey Cavalry, good friends. They actually took their recruiting trip together up to Gonzaga. Cavalry said yes. Emsley said no.
Kind of worked out for both of them.
Absolutely.
Especially when they play the same position.
You got that right.
Smart man.
Emsley's a little smarter than the average bear. Friend or not.
Yeah, I love you, man, but.
See ya.
I got an email. I'll give you my address.
See you later. Big trip for Santa Clara. They have to get something going here.
See the ball handling. See, there's no passing. There's no movement. They're very stagnant offense. One pass shot that worked for them the first 5 minutes of the game has not worked since.
Gonzaga love up-tempo. Averaging over 80 points a game. And Calvary, second foul. Pushing and shoving. Holmes. Down goes Holmes. Second foul for Casey.
Casey just big body, getting low block position. I don't know, watch him on there. Great acting job, but it was some contact. But of course, the referee fell for it, so you got to give him an Indy.
The lead is 10. Gonzaga in white, Santa Clara in maroon. Jones has been bottled up. He started off 4 for 5, and he has been slumping. Good pump fake. Holmes batted away. Here comes Dick out. Loves to get into the paint and dish it off. You back up on him, he'll drill the 3, and that's going to be a foul called on Holmes. So
2 hands in the box.
Holmes. Yep.
2 hands in the back, trying to stop Casey from getting to the low block. They're afraid of him when he gets to that white spot on the low side. That's where he wants the ball. You got to be able to push him off of it. The point is, you got to play more than one position. You can't play behind a player like him every single time down court.
Steph had a look.
Rebounding foul.
And a rebounding foul. They call it on Mark Spink. Spink is a senior from Bellingham, Washington. Just 2 seniors on this Gonzaga team, Spink and Calvary, and now Spink with 3 fouls. So a little bit of concern there. And now pressure. Holmes.
When you look at what Santa Clara has to do from an offensive perspective, they have got to get more movement with the ball, more body movement with the players. They have to play more than one side of the floor. Look, 3 times down court, they've shot every shot on the right side of the floor.
Step over to Dickow. Drains it. Dan Dickow, the junior from Vancouver. And Gonzaga, its biggest lead now, 13 points.
Santa Clara in jeopardy of losing contact in this game, because what you want to do is keep contact, and anything can happen down the stretch of the game. They showed us early in the game that they're capable of shooting the ball very well, and that was evident with their big upset last night.
Jones with a nice move. He beats Steph. So the Broncos score their first points of the second half.
It's so difficult to win games when you have to do everything off the dribble. You don't really have a guy that's going to draw double teams in the low post, so the guards are forced to make plays.
Nice entry to Calvary, and he is mugged.
Got hammered by his buddy.
Yeah. His friend, David Emsley, comes over. Gives him a little karate.
He's so tough when he gets the ball down in that area. But watch how smart he is. He gets to his spot, doesn't wait. He knows already before he received the ball, Chris, he knew that the backside was open, because guys are, when you have that type of court awareness, you use your peripheral vision, you take that snapshot of the floor, and it happens in slow motion for you. Smart play.
Emsley is going to sit down. Replacing him is Justin Holbrook. We mentioned that Calvary is a poor free throw shooter, 62%. And he misses both. So Santa Clara, which came from 19 down last night in the first half, it was down by 13 with 10 minutes to go last night. Can they rally? They got to start hitting some shots. The side screens don't appear to be working.
They're not sitting in.
Yeah. Nice move. Boy, Jamie Holmes, what improvement. He's a senior from Merced, California. He's playing well. He's got 10. Jones leads all Santa Clara scores. The Broncos will run. Bailey. Ross. Got it. And Santa Clara moving back into contact, as Reggie Steers calls it.
Well, excellent play, because Bailey had a chance to go over to Jones on the left side. But of course, he went to the big shooter. They need threes. They need points. Knocking them down right there. Now watch the spacing right here. You got Jones on the left side, and of course Steph on the far side right there. Same spot, opposite sides of the floor. Bang, same results.
Poor transition defense by Gonzaga.
Well, you know, when we talk about what Santa Clara has to do to generate some offense, well, some of that has to start on the defensive end. Right there.
Get a couple stops.
They get a couple stops. They got a couple of steals. Right there, the fast break starts with a good defense.
How about Santa Clara in a couple of minutes?
You ask,
they
and
score
you receive.
7 in a row. And the lead cut to 6.
I think they have to try to get a little bit more inside-out play, though. They're not really going down to the post. Just because the postmen are not offensive-minded players, they still can get this ball, make the defense respect them and react, and then kick it out. You got a lot of time on the shot clock. There's no full-court pressing going on right now.
Let's see how Gonzaga plays it here. They've given up 7 in a row. 5 minutes into the second half. Along with Reggie Theus, I'm Chris Marlowe. West Coast Conference championship game. These two teams played against each other 2 years ago with Gonzaga winning. Step thought about a dick out. Oh, he's way deep. Missed it. And scrambling for the rebound is Kyle Bailey. Bailey, a freshman from Fairbanks, Alaska, following in the footsteps of players like Trajan Langdon, Carlos Boozer. There's Boozer out now. Duke played pretty good the other night without him. It's almost better without him. Bailey. And Spink knocks it out of Hernandez's hand. That should be Santa Clara's ball. It is. 14:26 remaining in the game. Broncos hanging around the Zags at the moment.
Dear kitty kitty, ever try to clip your kitty's claws? It's impossible and can cause your cat pain. Now your cat can trim her own claws with Emery Cat, the fun new kitty scratcher that actually grooms cats' claws while they play. Look, cats' natural urge to scratch can rip up your whole house. Clippers cut too close to the sensitive inner tissue and nerves, causing pain. But just like an Emery board lets you file your own nails, Emery Cat lets your cat file her own claws. The patented honeycomb design works just like a powerful Emery board, infused with catnip, so Kitty keeps coming back. The arch design is ideal for stretching and scratching, and it's durable enough for larger cats. It even comes with a cute, playful kitty toy.
It was such a struggle with my cat, always pulling back and meowing at me every time I tried to cut his nails. And now with the Emery Cat, it's great. He can do it himself.
The Emery Cat files their nails naturally. They love to claw on it, and there's no more problems with my furniture, my curtains, or anything else. I love it.
Ordinary scratching post can cost as much as $100, and it won't trim your cat's claws. But the Emery Cat is just $19.95, and it comes complete.
Santa Clara starting to rebound more aggressively, and Zach Gord has it punched away, and that's going to be a foul on Holmes.
Well, the one thing you can't do in this particular game, Chris, you can't count Santa Clara out, because you have to remember the biggest comeback in West Coast Conference basketball history. Last night, obviously making the huge run against Pepperdine, shooting the ball tremendously in the second half.
Never had a tournament game like that. 19 points they were down and came all the way back against Pepperdine. Santa Clara needs to run out, and they've got to get their man. Brian Jones, the man with the ball, hot. 48-42, the lead is 6 for Gonzaga.
It's so much pressure on the offense when you only can score from outside. You got to be able to take it inside sometimes and make some things happen.
Long three-pointer. Beauty. That's Steve Ross, the junior from Canada. He's got 14 with that three. So the lead has dwindled now.
And we know what spot he likes. Ross has hit the three from each corner of the game so far.
And step is cooled off. Now the Broncos trail by just 3. Bailey thought about it. He had a three-point look, but he didn't take it.
Got to pull the trigger. Let it happen.
Bailey's got Spink on him. Now he launches and he hits it. And we're tied up. Oh. Kyle Bailey.
Got to have confidence in this game. At least 70% of the basketball is about confidence.
Hernandez off the glass. Alex Hernandez, the junior from Las Vegas. A 2-point advantage for Gonzaga. Jones trying to force his way in, and he's going to pick up the holding foul on Blake's step.
I like maybe this being a great adjustment right there. Putting Jones down on the block, maybe that's where they get their post up.
There's a post up guy.
Look at Ross. He likes that spot. It doesn't matter which end or what side. He likes that spot.
Holmes goes out. Vaca comes in. So Vaca and Bailey will run at the guards. Ross stays in. Emsley and Holbrook, the 5 on the floor for Santa Clara. Long distance, Ross. Oh, he rims it in and out. Calvary the rebound. Gonzaga is cooled off. Perfect look there by Kyle Bankhead. He could not convert. Let's see if Gonzaga tries to dump it in low. I'd see if I can get into Calvary. Have him work that low post. You're cooling off. You got to realize when you are.
Got to take advantage.
50-48. Zags. Bankhead's a shooter. He's made 50% of his three-pointers. Shot clock under 10. Counting it down. 3. Dick out. Going up. I believe it went off Ross's hand. It did. And they'll reset the shot clock.
Gonzaga not really taking advantage of the offense or Casey down in the low block. They got to get it to him, get him in this game.
Zags by a couple. We're coming right back. Chris Marlowe, Reggie Theus, Santa Clara trailing by 5 at half. They were trailing by 10 3 minutes into the second half, but they have rallied. They actually caught Gonzaga at 48, but a 2-point lead now for Gonzaga and Santa Clara coming on.
They know this team. They have a feel for this team. This is a team they played very well over the years. Physicality of both teams really helps Santa Clara because they want to slow the game down. If they can keep the pace on the slow side in the second half, they're going to have a shot at this game down the end. But they have to hit the outside shot because they're not getting anything from the inside.
Hernandez bottled up. And Santa Clara's defense is picked up.
Well, one of the reasons why it's picked up because Gonzaga refuses to go down to Casey on the low block. He's had single coverage the last few times he's touched the ball. But why aren't you getting it to him? He's got 29 against the team the first meeting. Obviously didn't play well against them the second time. Dickow had the big night, but they lost that game. So talking to the coaching staff, what are they most afraid of? They're most afraid of Casey down on the low block because that is where they're weak. They have no big bodies to go against him.
Dickow is an 88% free throw shooter. Of course, he misses the first. Now Emsley will go out, and Jamie Holmes comes back in with 3 fouls. Dickow wore number 12 when he was at Washington because John Stockton, he calls the greatest point guard ever, wore that number. Number 12 hasn't been issued at Gonzaga since Stockton, so Dickow wearing number 21, reversed.
Well, I have an affinity for Gonzaga also because, you know, Gonzaga was the first letter of intent I ever got out of high school. Well, why didn't I go there? We don't want to go there.
No, we don't want to go there now. 51-48.
But I never forgot it.
Ross, wow, that's trailing. You got to come down with 2 feet flush. You can't spread your feet on the last hop of a 2-step approach. And Ross couldn't quite navigate through that forest.
It's called travel.
Boy, yeah, there you go. The pace is really slowed down now, which I think favors Santa Clara a lot.
Well, especially if they're not going into their half-court defense. I mean, half-court offense, Gonzaga, and that is to get the ball down into Casey.
Dickow with the runner, and he drops it through. Dickow's career high 39. He had that against Santa Clara in the last game. Dickow tonight, 14. Nice backdoor look, and Ross converts. Give the assist to Holbrook.
First time since when have we seen anything on the inside from a play coming from the weak side? First body movement we've got.
Third game in 3 days for these teams, so fatigue could play a part as they come down the stretch. No,
these kids are young.
Well, look at the guys huffing and puffing a little bit. Violet and Bankhead go out. Championship week presented by 7-Up. We're in San Diego, California. A gloomy day in San Diego, of course. The shootings at the high school and just a shock around the city, and we wish those well. And the people involved, it's just a terrible tragedy. A reminder that there is no joking about guns. You hear someone joking about guns, tell somebody right away. 55-50. I'm Chris Marlowe along with Reggie Theus. The team that wins tonight gets an automatic bid to the NCAA tournament. Gonzaga and Santa Clara battling here the third time this year. Each team has won once.
And Gonzaga over the years, great Cinderella story going into the tournament.
Made that great run in 1998.
Had some people really scared.
Calvary.
Oh, traveling.
And he did. You like to call traveling on guys, don't you?
Well, one ref called traveling, one called a push.
Let's see. Jave Libby's got the push. Mark Reichley's got to travel. Let's see.
I say travel first. Yes. Good call.
So Santa Clara gets a bit of a break, and they will get possession. Team to beat Gonzaga during the regular season, these Santa Clara Broncos, and they did it impressively at home 8 days ago. Holmes trying to barge his way in, couldn't. Hernandez picks up the rebound.
But I like the fact they're trying to get something inside now.
Yeah.
Not everything's flying from the perimeter.
Both teams a lot more patient now. Step. Got it. How about Blake Step? He got a step and went to the rack.
Well, not only that, he showed us he can go to the rack and shoot the ball inside right here. Watch the defense on the outside. Where's the help? You got to cut off the baseline, not from the backside.
33 points between Step and Dickow, the starting Gonzaga guards. Step in high school, Reggie had 52 in a game. So he's a bona fide scorer. What's the most you ever got in a game?
Close to 50.
Close to 50.
Actually 53. I just wanted to have one more than he did.
Reggie got that in his junior high school all-star game. 58-50. Gonzaga opening it up a bit, but responding is Kyle Bailey. Bailey hits from distance. He's got 9. Step, nice pass. Cabaret with the finish.
Excellent pass. Created the opportunity. Casey stepped into the slot.
The pace is picking up again. It's a 7-point advantage. Jones. Jones gets it. Brian Jones, the senior from Carson. He's only a 24% three-point shooter, which is not good.
I'll tell you one thing. Santa Clara has shown us that they can score in streaks.
And they don't quit.
No.
They come right back just when you're ready to bury them. Calvary thought about it. Hernandez.
Oh, that's weak.
Beautiful.
Oh, that's just weak defense.
How about terrific offense, Reggie?
Okay.
Give some credit.
No.
Come
that was
on.
weak defense.
Since when have you started complaining about anybody's defense?
Hey, listen, I never said I didn't know how.
You got phobia against that, huh? Here goes Hernandez. Let's see if he pulls it out. He will. Gonzaga up by 8. And Dickow will bring it back out. Calvary. And Santa Clara finally clearing it. Santa Clara looks tired. Vaca looks tired. Jones looks tired. Huffing and puffing, both of them. Perhaps that comeback last night took something out of it.
That certainly would. That was emotional for him also, and that alone will take it out of him.
And Dick Davies says, yeah, we're going to take a timeout here. When the mouth is open, you see huffing and puffing.
And they grab the skirt. That's a telltale.
So Dick Davey.
Look at this. Look at the assist here. Driving baseline. Now what's nice about it, watch Calvary step into the slot. See the open area right there? Steps right in there. Of course, that was a nice pass.
(62-56). Gonzaga trying to get Back to the tournament for the third straight year. Jones hits.
Big shot.
Brian Jones with 2 3-pointers in a row, and that cuts the lead to 3.
What do you say, shoots 24% out there?
24%. Coming in, he had made 39 of 161.
He's got an agenda tonight.
Of course, last night against Pepperdine, Santa Clara made 12 of 28 as Dickow answers. Dickow right back at you. Dickow now with 19. Lead his team in scoring, step right behind him with 18. Calvary with 11. Jones has got 18. Ross has got 16. Holmes with 10. Bailey with 9. Bailey hits! Wow. Santa Clara, just as they did last night, they catch fire. 5:45 to play. And it's a 3-point advantage for Gonzaga. Step. He hits.
This is like a summer league game. Everybody's on fire.
First 6 minutes of the game, just like this. Teams exchanging long distance bombs. 68-62. Jones missed the roll. Ross had the tip. Good persistence. Santa Clara will get another shot. Opportunity. 5:10 to play. One of these teams is going. It's 68-62. 5:10 to play. Gonzaga leading Santa Clara by 6. Gonzaga coach Mark Few, he likes his guard Dan Dickow.
Dan Dickow has had an amazing year, and I mean, he's just invaluable to us. Right now, I think he's playing as good as any point guard on the West Coast. He and Jason Gardner. The way he shoots it, the way he distributes it, his numbers are just phenomenal. His assist-to-turnover ratio and what he does for our club is invaluable, and that's shown with, what are we, like 19-2 with him and 5-4 without him. So.
Look at the numbers for Dickow. This is one of the arguments that Gonzaga said it would have if it didn't win this game, if it doesn't win this game, I should say, as Ross hits, is that without Dickow, they lost 4 games. They might have only lost 2 or 1 if he had been in the lineup.
I'm not so sure there's a criteria for that type of situation, though.
Yeah, Ross has got 18 now, 68-64. And just when you think the Broncos are going to go to the barn and get some hay, they come out roaring. Dickow fouled by Jones. That's been a great match all night long.
And you look at the shot selection in this game. Santa Clara from 2-point range, 32%, but from 3-point land, 57%. And of course, Gonzaga getting it done on the inside, 70% from 2-point land, 45, which ain't shabby from 3-point land.
Dickow.
So would you ever think that this was going to be a shooter's game? No, not at all to me.
Dickow misses the front end. And the Broncos trailing by 4. Ross, he aired it out. Here comes Hernandez. Got a 2-on-2 break, and he'll bring it back. I like Hernandez a lot. He is a valuable player. Spink. Dickow posting now. He'll bring it out.
Dickow's so under control when he's playing out there. Always looking.
Great pass. Calvary missed it. And he'll shoot 2.
He missed it, but it was a good foul.
Yeah.
What he did, what I like about it, he didn't like wimp out on it. He went on and went for the 2-hand. Right here, nobody guarded the big fella.
And
he's an All-American. You gotta find him.
He's the conference player of the year.
Hernandez finding the open guy.
A modest night for Calvary. Of course, they've been doubling down on him most of the night, boxing him in.
It's also a mark of a solid player when he can have numbers when the team is keying on him from a defensive standpoint.
Casey's made 2 of 5 at the line. And now 2 of 6. There, Ross.
Ross
He's a good player.
Yeah, he's having a nice game.
69-64. Can Santa Clara make one more run? 4 minutes to play.
Shooting.
Gonzaga staying in the matchup.
This is where they got in trouble in the first half.
Jones, horrible shot.
Didn't make the adjustment when the matchup came about. What the matchup zone does is it keeps you outside the three-point line. It's very difficult to penetrate it.
Bailey got into Holmes. Holmes threw it away. They tried to foul Hernandez, and he puts it to bed.
What's the rule? You get it in the paint, shoot it.
Alex Hernandez, 71-64, and the Gonzaga fans that are here starting to feel it. They're whooping it up at Jack and Dan's up in Spokane, John Stockton's dad's tavern, where they all hang out to watch their team. But no, an answer. Justin Holbrook for three, right back at you.
Don't celebrate too soon.
The lead is 4. Both teams shooting unbelievably well. Dickow. Calvary drops it in.
Why did that sort of look like Stockton Malone to me right there? The pick and roll, the roll downs, Dickow making it happen, creating it even when the defense steps out. Very nice.
The lead is up to 6. And Gonzaga has control now. The starting guards for Gonzaga have been magnificent. Step with 21, Dickow with 19.
Go back to the pick and roll.
They do. Dickow's trying to set up his buddy. Now he gets it to his big buddy. Oh, Casey missed the easiest shot of his Gonzaga career.
It's very difficult. When you go pick and roll, you got a shooter out there like Steph. It's hard for the defense to make the adjustment back to the strong side.
Long palm Holmes. And Calvary is taking charge of the glass. Gonzaga, the Elite 8 2 years ago. Sweet 16 last season. They're looking to go back for the 3rd year in a row.
I tell you what, I wouldn't want to be the team to play these guys first.
Tough matchup, don't you think?
When you can shoot the ball like they can from the perimeter, and you have the strength down in the low blocks, defense, you've got everything there is for major upsets.
So Dickow, a tremendous ball handler. He is fouled. The bonus in effect, it's 1+1. So Dickow just missed the front end. He's not having a particularly good free throwing night. 4th foul on Jones. That could be a factor. And Dan Dickow, as we mentioned, an 88%er. He's 1 of 3 tonight.
You know, one thing you have to do, you have to give Santa Clara a lot of credit. I think that in many ways they controlled a lot of the tempo in this game. They let it slip away from them on a couple of occasions during the course of the game, but really have been in the mix playing Gonzaga's tempo. And I didn't expect that.
Dickow makes 2. It doesn't sound quite like Stockton to Malone, but Dickow to Calvary is working just fine. 1:36 to play. Santa Clara up against it, trailing Gonzaga 75-67. The Zags, the #1 seed in the tournament. Everybody figured they'd win. Nobody thought that Santa Clara would possibly get this far except the Bronco fans, and they've played well, but they're just not up to it. Not quite up to Gonzaga's level.
Well, when you look at them on paper, that's for sure, but this game's certainly not totally out of reach. We got 1:36 to go. Obviously, anything can happen. One thing you think about, you think of Brian Jones and his quest to make it to the big dance, something he wanted to do when he first got there. May not happen. Steve Nash was a guy that showed him around, and he just got used to knowing that's what they were going to the playoffs.
Santa Clara with the full and the 30. They got to get a bucket here. Must score possession. Nice dish.
Big.
And coming up with it is Justin Holbrook. And a quick timeout. So Dick Davey takes timeout. He's been at it a while. Spent 15 years as a top assistant to coaching legend Carol Williams. Biggest win, you ask? How about the 1993 NCAA tournament upset of 5th-ranked Arizona in the first round? That was a shocker. Won the West Coast tournament title once back in 1993, defeating Pepperdine, earning a spot in the tournament. Very solid, fundamental coach. No-nonsense guy. Funny guy, though.
Yeah,
Fun to talk to.
Very straightforward. He knows what he wants out on the floor. Came up, said, it's team is not a great shooting team, but his team is capable of hitting shots, and that's what he did. If they hit shots tonight, they got a chance.
.120 to play, 75-69. Don't forget, SportsCenter coming up next. Linda Cohn, Bill Pito, NBA stuff. More teams in the dance, and Gary Sheffield. Won't want to miss that. So Gonzaga takes time out. The one guy you don't want to throw it to for Gonzaga is Calvary, because he is a poor free thrower. Everybody else pretty good.
That was excellent press, defense, and I tell you what, Step made a great call right there, because they were very close to getting a 10-second call.
Had 8 seconds run off the clock. Gonzaga, if they win, they get the automatic bid. Pepperdine finishes 21-8, but they have a fairly high RPI, but they should be an NIT contender. So should Santa Clara.
Yeah, both of them get a chance to get NIT. Obviously, Pepperdine very disappointed they're not playing in this game tonight.
Such a great year a year ago. Of course, the big upset when they got to the tournament, beating Indiana and knocking out Bobby Knight's crew. So the West Coast Conference, competitive this year.
When you look at the NIT, they got to look at Santa Clara. When it's 6 in a row at the end of the season, that's when you're supposed to be playing your best basketball.
Santa Clara needs a pick here. And they'll settle for the foul. They foul Mark Spink. Not too bad. He's a 67% free throw shooter. If you're wondering about Gonzaga as a team, 68%. That's a little better than average. I think the national average is about 66, and it's going down every year. Blake Stepp, Dan Dickow, 42 points.
42 points for your backcourt. They'll take it all day long.
Spink is one of those role players that you gotta have on your team. And in the double bonus, he makes the first of 2.
Not afraid to mix it up. He's got a long, skinny body, but he is wiry strong. Not afraid of anybody out on the floor.
3 of 3.
Still trying to figure out how the guys play with the booties on.
It's a different era, Reggie.
The worst part is there's no way they can be taped up.
Santa Clara has 13 three-pointers. That's a season high. They need another one right here. Ross. Oh no! And Spink right on the ball. He may have followed through into the cranial area of Steve Ross.
That's called a leather sandwich. He's over the top of this ball. The referee just jumped the gun. Watch on top. Right there. No chance. Maybe you want to, maybe for the abuse that he got on the block, but certainly that's a jump ball. If anything, how about just a block?
Despite the crying of Reggie Theus, Steve Ross will shoot 2.
Hey, it's a good play.
Actually, it's not so bad for Santa Clara because they get the clock stopped. And it will be a 2-possession game, even if he makes this one. Checking back in, Brian Vaca. So Vaca in there with Holbrook. Jones, of course. Ross.
You know they have to go back into the full court press.
Yeah, got to press here. 76-71, 5-point lead, 48 seconds to go.
Try not to foul.
Trying not to foul those guys. And that's good coaching by Mark Few. They set up the play, they inbound it to Stepp, who's a great free thrower, and then he gets it to Dickow, who is their best at 88%.
Now, on the flip side of that, if you're Santa Clara, those are the 2 guys you don't want to get the ball. So after Dickow throws the ball in, you got to face guard him.
Okay, yeah. Or maybe have even 2 guys on each guy. Let them throw it to a big guy and then clobber him. Double bonus in effect.
See, I probably would have elected not to foul so early under those circumstances. Let the defense come up court, at least the three-quarter court. You got 46 seconds on the clock. You're down by 5. That's a lot of time. You certainly aren't going to let them run the clock out, but you want to try to give yourself a chance to get a steal.
It is very difficult when Dan Dickau has the ball in his hands. He's a youngster with a bright future. You're going to see a lot of him. He's going to be a big-time player. A 6-point lead, not insurmountable. Got to have a trade. Jones got it! Brian Jones hits from deep.
You don't want to foul either one of these guys.
3-point game now. Wow. You go after him.
You got to go after the ball. You got to let it develop a little bit more. Give yourself a chance to get the steal.
I'm with you, Rich. I'm with you, Rich. Or try to force the ball out of his hand.
Yeah, well,
double team him. Force him to
the next
throw it to
guy up
somebody
was
else.
Hernandez. Obviously, you don't want Dickau shooting the free throw. You'd rather Hernandez shooting the free throw. Look at this. Now watch. I think he even got foul on it. Look at the hand right there. I thought he got touched on his left arm on that shot.
You know, Dickau might be tightening up a bit. He's an 88% free thrower. The best Gonzaga has to offer, and he's 4 of 8 here.
Are you calling him a choke?
Not saying that. He makes 1 of 2.
That's big for Santa Clara. They can come away with 1 point for Gonzaga on the fouling. That's what you got to do.
4-point advantage. Ross is going up.
Oh, big shot. Big pass.
Bailey gets it. It's a 1-point game. Timeout. Wow. That's execution, Reggie.
I told you over at the tavern in Spokane, they can't celebrate too fast.
Last call, not quite yet. 78-77.
Look at the play right here. Obviously, nice pass. Ross over to Bailey for the threer. Forcing it the action, making it happen. Ross, I didn't know where he was going, what he was trying to do, but he obviously had a good idea of what was happening on the floor. Excellent play under pressure.
Gonzaga with just 4 fouls. Santa Clara in the bonus. Gonzaga with the 2 timeouts. And Gonzaga has the arrow. So it's going to be the same kind of a play. Gonzaga going inbound to Step or Dickau. What do you do, Reggie Theus?
Well, you got 25 seconds on the shot clock. You got to give yourself a chance. You obviously want to get 1 more possession, but you want to make a stop. If you can stop them defensively, obviously that's the best thing. If any of the big guys touch the ball, you got to foul immediately.
Well, if you foul immediately and he makes 2, you have a chance. You have a chance to tie it with a 3. So you can do that. That's certainly an option. Dickau has 23. Step has 21. Jones with 21. Ross with 20.
Don't necessarily want to have to come down and make a 3, though.
I agree. I'm not saying you have to do that, but at the least, that's what you should get.
When you look at the stats, they're shooting better from 3-point line than 2-point line, though.
Trying to get it out of the hands.
Got to get a double.
Dickau.
Got to get a double.
He's bumped, and they call the foul. So if you're going to foul him there.
But how nice is it you got a player on the floor that does not have to give it up? That's so incredibly important under gun like this. But listen, he's missed a couple big free throws down the stretch, and he still held onto the ball. That's taken over the game.
All right, pressure situation for Dan Dickau. He's made 5 of 9. He's got 2. No problem.
But Santa Clara doesn't have any timeouts left, so they're going to have to get the ball up the court.
Gonzaga by 3. Remember, Santa Clara, no timeouts. The Broncos have made 50 3-pointers, but they desperately need 1 now. 14 seconds to go. And Jones is fouled intentionally. It won't go as an intentional foul, but a good play by Step.
But they got fouls to give. You don't want him.
That's only the 5th team foul. So the ball out of bounds. So every time they come in now, what you got to do is take a shot if they're going to foul you and get the 3 free throws.
The good and the bad is they get a chance to set it up.
Bailey, time running down. They need a 3 to tie. Bailey.
Too much dribbling.
Bailey. And a foul is called. So a holding foul, and Dick Davies saying, shoot the thing.
See, Chris, they had no play. They didn't go into anything. They had really no idea what they wanted to do there.
So Santa Clara without a timeout. Gonzaga takes the timeout. 2.7 seconds to go. Broncos will have the ball and one final chance.
With the new Geico Glove Box app,
Santa Clara a chance to go into the huddle and draw up something, a 2-second, a 3-second play. That 2.7 seconds is a long time to get a shot off.
On the line, an automatic bid to the NCAA tournament. Gonzaga trying to get back there for the 3rd year in a row.
How about the dreams of Jones?
Yeah.
Wanting to make the dance.
Now it's interesting, Gonzaga could foul quickly and intentionally and put a Bronco on the line to shoot 1+1. Would you buy into that strategy or no?
Well, you know, there's so many things that can happen. The one thing that they want to do is, if they're going to live with the long shot, it's got to be an awful long shot.
Okay.
2.7 seconds is all right with me, but if they get on the line, all of a sudden the ball takes a funny bounce, ends up in the hands of one of the players, and they lay it back
Well, the
in.
5 guys you have out, they all got to play perimeter defense. The only thing that can hurt you is a 3 here. A 2 doesn't do you any good. So you play perimeter, let them have a layup. Get out, face guard them, don't let them have it.
No 4-point plays.
No 4-point plays. Don't foul that 3-point shooter.
Sir. Because worst case scenario, you go overtime.
Brian Jones can shoot the 3. Kyle Bailey can shoot the 3. Vaca is a pretty good shooter. Now Jones is going to take it out. Let's see who they throw it to. Ross can shoot the 3.
Got to face guard Jones.
Gonzaga by 3. 2 seconds to play. Broncos need a 3. It's going to be Holmes. And he comes up short. And Gonzaga is going back to the NCAA tournament.
Poor execution. They had 60 seconds to prepare an out-of-bounds play, and they could come up with nothing better than that.
Dan Dickow, the MVP for Gonzaga. He scores 25. Steph has 21. The Zags shoot 58% from the field. The Broncos, a school record, 15 trays.
Well, no, they got the ball to no one that they wanted to have it. Right there, no pick set. Everybody sort of going to just a spot. Easy to guard.
So the West Coast Conference tournament title goes to Gonzaga. Once again, that man, Dan Dickow, leads his team into the NCAA tournament. We hope you enjoyed it. From the Jenny Cake Pavilion, the final score once again, Gonzaga 80, Santa Clara 77. Stay tuned for SportsCenter. For Reggie Theus and our entire ESPN crew, I'm Chris Marlowe. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com.